It's time to talk. And I mean really talk, because my generation spends the most amount of money on productivity and self-improvement, yet we are only getting more and more depressed, more and more unhappy. I've been one of those who have spent a lot of money on productivity apps, to-do lists, self-improvement books. I've read every single one of them, from Getting Things Done to Atomic Habits to Good to Great. I've read memoirs like Shoe Dog, but I still wasn't happy. So why do we end up getting more and more unhappy while we spend more and more time trying to improve ourselves, trying to become better? And I don't know if I have the answer, but I have a lot of thoughts I wanted to share with you, because it's probably likely that a lot of you are feeling the same way or have felt the same way. I can't talk for everyone, but in my case, everything changed when I started using a bullet journal. But don't worry, this isn't another bullet journal video. We have a lot of them out there already. This isn't about the bullet journal. It is more about the bullet journal method, the ideas behind the bullet journal, not necessarily the bullet journal in itself. It is about the thought process, because we live in a day and age where we get information all of the time. There is always information in our heads. There are always thoughts. We produce around 50 to 70,000 thoughts each day. That's a book each day. We live in a time and age where we don't just sit down and reflect on those thoughts. We never think about those things that come to our mind. We just keep on doing more and more and more and trying to become more and more productive. And that is a problem, because I believe that not reflecting, not thinking about our to-do lists, not thinking about our goals, and I mean actually sitting down and really thinking about our goals. If your goal is to make $1 million, which I know a lot of young people my age have as their goals, you need to sit down and ask yourself why. We don't ask ourselves why enough, and that is a problem, because that, in the end, that's what makes us unhappy. You may have reached your goals. You may have reached the end of your to-do list. You may have accomplished everything you want, but you're still unhappy. And you think resolving that is... You think you will resolve that by actually doing and trying to accomplish more. So you put more onto your to-do list, more onto your plate, and you accomplish those things as well, but again, end up more unhappy. I think we need to sit down and think a lot more about our goals. What do I want? And in a time where we allow brands and people to influence us in the kitchen, in the bathroom, in our bedroom, we allow our phones to influence the way we think. Brands and people have access to us 24/7. We never have to sit down with our own thoughts and think about what do actually I want to accomplish. There is just so much noise out there. So thinking about yourself and why you actually want to accomplish something, ask yourself who you are, ask yourself what you want, and try to not be influenced by all the voices around you. It might be your family, it might be your friends, and it might even be brands and influencers online influencing the way you think, the person you want to be. It becomes hard to distill our thoughts from all of the noise. What do actually I think, and what do have others made me think? And doing that often ends up with unhappiness, not knowing what you want and what others have made you think you want, we end up unhappy. Because doing more of the things we hate doing will not make us happier. Doing more, adding more onto your plate will not make you happier. It will actually do the opposite. It will make you a lot more unhappy. When I started bullet journaling, I started asking myself, is this necessary to do? If not, is this something I want to do? If not, then why am I doing it? There are things in life like doing your taxes or going shopping for groceries that might not feel too good to do, but you have to do them. But there are other things that you are doing and you don't want to do, and they aren't necessary. Those things need to go out of your life. You need to cut them out of your life, because that's the things that are making you unhappy. At some point, we need to sit down and ask ourselves difficult questions. Who am I? What do I want to do? Why am I doing the things I'm doing? Productivity, when you are doing things you hate, will only make you more unhappy. Accomplishing more of the things you don't like will only make you more unhappy. You need to sit down and really reflect, because that's the only way you will figure out what makes you happy. For some, it might be spending time with friends and family. In my case, it is journaling, writing, and making YouTube videos or making content online. But you need to think in order to figure out what makes you drive, what gets you up in the morning. It is so easy with all of these productivity apps with social media to avoid these questions because they are hard. It isn't easy to answer a lot of these questions, and in order to find the answers, you have to try a lot of different things. But we end up, instead of spending time asking ourselves the most important questions, we spend time customizing our productivity workflow, trying out a new app and hoping it will make us a lot more productive and in the end a lot happier. That's not how it is supposed to go. The first thing you need to do in order to become more happy is to ask yourself the difficult questions. Then we can move on to becoming more productive. But productivity doesn't matter if you are doing things you hate. It will only make you unhappy. That's what I call unhappy productivity. Doing a lot of things you hate just to impress people, just to impress your mother, father, or a random guy on social media. Trying to earn more money so you can post it on social to impress people you don't even know. It will end up making you a lot more unhappy. I'm not telling you to stop being productive. I'm not telling you to cancel all of your subscriptions. I'm telling you to spend a little bit of time asking yourself a couple of questions to get to know yourself better. I think a lot of us don't know ourselves enough, and that's what makes us unhappy. I don't think productivity in itself makes us unhappy, but doing a lot of things we don't like and trying to do more in order to become happy will only make us a lot more unhappy. How many times have I said the word happy and unhappy? The point is, don't waste your time and energy living a life designed by someone else. And don't believe that doing more of those things will make you happier. It isn't about accomplishing everything on your to-do list. It is about accomplishing those things that make you happier, that gives you joy in life. That's the most important thing. Productivity isn't important. Happiness is important. And productivity is just a way to get happier, to have more time to do the things we enjoy, and to have more control of our own lives. It is about organizing your thoughts. It is about planning the things that really matters to us. But in order to do that, you have to start by asking yourself a couple of difficult questions.